Hello, my name is Rich White. I am with the Greenbush Education Service Center and the Edusim project. Today I want to show how we can leverage the CB Model Pro model building platform as a way to build our models and then import them into Edusim to build our worlds. So, kind of leveraging the object export feature of CB Model Pro to build our models and then import them into Edusim or Cobalt, create your world, and then later I'll show you how we share those worlds out. But CB Model Pro is a free at cbmodelpro.com, and I'll have the link underneath this tutorial on edusim3d.com as well. It's a pretty intuitive interface. I won't go in a lot of depth on its model building features, but I will link to some more in-depth model building tutorials here. You'll see the two main functions, model and paint. When you're on paint, you'll get kind of some more paint specific tools to the right. When you're on model, you'll leverage these tools over here. You can also do some other things to deform your model once you have it in a world. But we're going to do a real simple pyramid. And you'll also notice that you can save these models. So this is some stuff up here that I've done in the past and saved. What we're going to do is just a real simple pyramid, so I'm going to kind of get that out here. Now that we've got it out here, let's go ahead and this is how we can see all the way around it. Just click this and you'll see our little man move here. But what we need to do now is put a texture on this, and I'm just going to, and to put a texture you can simply have a texture on your desktop and just drag it into this area here, but we want to use this texture here, so we're going to kind of do that and stretch it out, move it. Now that I have that texture selected, anywhere I click it'll put that texture. So now let's just kind of rotate it. Let's there we go, need that side. Then let's get the bottom. Okay, now let's, doesn't look too bad. Got an area there. So you can tell you can do a lot of detail here. I'm not doing anything too fancy, but we could if we wanted to. Okay, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and export this. Now when we go to export, this is the format we'll want, the .obj, and we'll want to hover over this for a while and see what generic file it's going to call it. In this case it's going to call it file181.obj. So I'll click that. Okay, now that it's exported that, let's go back to model. Let's scroll down here. We'll want to scroll down until we get this blue little folder, and then we'll click it. And we said 181. Okay, so we'll need these three files. We'll need the .obj, the actual model, the material that kind of defines the material, and then there's this the texture, the image, the BMP texture. So now that we see those, we're going to go ahead and bring up our Edusim folder. Let's go into Content, Meshes. I created a folder ahead of time called Tutorial that I'm going to drag these files into. There, the material, and that. We'll need all three. So now that we're done with that, we can kind of close CB Model Pro, and like I mentioned, I will link to some more in-depth modeling tutorials for CB Model Pro. Really, the thing I wanted to show here is how we can leverage CB Model Pro as the model building platform for our worlds. So, okay, so we've got that. We can go ahead and change this name. Now that we've got it in here, we won't change the names of these because they're referenced in this object, but we can change this. Just a pyramid there. Okay, now that we've changed it, we can do here. Okay, now what we want to do is kind of clear out and create a blank slate here for our new world. If I look around, we'll see we have nothing but mountains and land. Now, one thing we can do, though, is simply drag in images. So if we want to have some flat images we want to use, we can simply just drag those in, and that's what I did from my desktop. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do a a T-painted object. That way we'll have kind of these three different objects in here in our little simple world here. Okay, now that's with our little 3D painting. Now let's get over here, and then we'll go to Things, Add Model. Now, just to show you again, I went to Things and Add Model from Local File. We'll go down, that was in our Meshes directory, and then one called Tutorials, so we'll scroll down till we find it. There it is. Now we'll select our pyramid, and OK, just use 1 as the scale factor. Okay, so let's kind of move around here. We see our object over here. It's on its side, so what we need to do is right-click this. When we right-click it, we'll see a, or if you're on a Mac, you can Command and mouse click. We'll get this little menu here, and what we want to do is Edit. And what Edit does is it puts a little edit box around here, and we can stretch it out. That'll let us kind of stretch it out and resize our object, and then it'll also let us set this thing up on its side. We can grab it and kind of rotate it that way. Let's make it bigger. Let's step back here and just stretch it out here. You can move it also, but I want to grab this corner. To stretch it, you just grab the corner. To move it, you'll just grab inside anywhere. And we want this a little bigger, so let's move our picture out of the way here. Okay, let's right-click this again, remove the edit box, remove edit box, and now we see our three pieces there. We see our model that we brought in. We see our picture that we drug in, and just to clarify a little bit, what these things above here will do, and you can't see them real good. Let me kind of, there we go. This will grab the picture so we can kind of move it around here. This will delete it. This icon here lets us walk kind of right up to it, so that's what those handles do there. This lets us shut off the texture of the image. So that is, in a nutshell, how you can leverage CB Model Pro as your model building platform for Edusim. Not a real complicated model, but you get the idea of the things that can be done. In the next piece, I will show how you can share out your work now.